This is probably going to shock you. I have the Green Bay Packers number 3 at 8-8, finishing the year.
Wow.
Now, here's why. One, they've got a pretty tough schedule ahead of them. They've got obviously they're playing teams like the 49ers. They've got to play New Orleans. They have to play the Eagles. They have to play Tampa. So those are going to be some tough teams. And I got to be honest, out of those 4 teams, I'd be surprised if they won 2 out of those 4 games. I almost think that those 4 games are a clean sweep, that they'll lose all 4. And here's why. They haven't improved offensively at all. They did draft AJ Dillon, but they already have someone similar to him in Aaron Jones. Then you have kind of the front office and the head coach almost planning Jordan Love's ascendance into being the next quarterback when Aaron Rodgers still has 4 years left on his current deal, and he was 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and all you had to do is give him some more offensive help, or maybe even bolster the defense, which you did neither. And I really think that fraction between basically the message that the Packers are sending Aaron Rodgers with they're planning his departure rather than helping him win a Super Bowl now with his window kind of closing. Because let's be realistic, Aaron Rodgers probably has about 5 to 6 decent years of football, and maybe 3 of those at an elite level where he's at now before he kind of, and this is going to be kind of crazy to say, but he's so elite that even in 3 years, when he kind of tailors it back, he's still going to be top 10 in the NFL amongst quarterbacks. So in retrospect, like he's in one of the classes all by himself right now, and we're kind of including him with Mahomes, Wilson, Jackson, and then Rodgers because they're so elite. But even when Aaron Rodgers kind of takes a step back physically because he's getting older, he's still in the top 10, similar to Tom Brady, but I think you and I can both agree that Aaron Rodgers' arm talent is so much better than Tom Brady's that he'll probably be able to prolong his career with just how talented his arm is. I'm sure we can agree on that.
If Rodgers can stay healthy, I think yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is Rodgers has gotten injured the last few years, and Brady hasn't. So yes, Brady has taken a step down talent-wise, but he is still always on the field, and his most lethal weapon right now is his mind, which you can say Aaron Rodgers is got a lethal weapon in his mind and his arm, but he has to be on the field for that to work. So my answer would be yes, but to a certain extent if he can stay healthy.
Right, I agree. I think what helps is that he's so mobile that he can evade certain defenders, although that's also his Achilles heel. And I'll just give an example of 2 seasons ago when he broke his collarbone because he was evading the pocket, turning him into a runner, and he wasn't really protected by any roughing the passer. But
so instead of that's his Achilles heel, that would be his collarbone.
It's either one. It's So, but anyways, I have the Packers again, like I said, finishing 8-8. Again, Rodgers and the fraction between him and the front office is gonna, I think, trickle down all the way to the rest of the team. And honestly, I kind of feel like this is going to be the start to Matt LaFleur's kind of separation between the team in terms of like them trusting him, because the front office isn't just going to pick some quarterback or trade up back into the first round to take some quarterback to take Aaron Rodgers without the coach's opinion or what he would like his team to look like after Rodgers. So, there's going to be some division there because they're going to see like, it's not Rodgers that's the problem. We needed these XYZ players or positions filled, and that's not what you address.
I have them at 11-5, so just one more game ahead of the Vikings. And here's why. You made a good point that they did not draft what they needed. They need a receiver, and they needed a receiver all year when Devontae Adams was hurt. Okay, so I'm not arguing that. But my argument here is they still went 13-3. And you could say, well, it wasn't that tough of a schedule. Valid point. That's why I think they lose 2 more games this year. But it is a tough road schedule. But when they are home, they really have a favorable home schedule. I think they steal one from Minnesota. I think they win both games against Chicago, and I think they win both games against Detroit. I really do.
Mhm.
And I think those games right there, that's a big chunk already, you know. And I think that's what's going to put them over the edge. They have Jacksonville at home. They have where was it? Atlanta at home. Philadelphia, I think, is a losable game for them, but that
Mhm.
also could be a win. We don't know what Philadelphia is going to look like because they did semi get better, but I mean, it's almost the same situation as Green Bay. I don't see them really getting better, but
Mhm.
they still, made it to the playoffs. So, there's a little bit of that, but they have Carolina at home, and like I said, I'm high on Carolina, but I don't think you can go into Green Bay at Week 15,
Mhm.
December 20th. I just don't see Carolina winning in that kind of environment. And
Mhm.
then they have Tennessee at home, and again, I just don't see Tennessee winning in that environment.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an NBC game, and Aaron Rodgers loves those games. So for me, yes, you're right. They did not get better, and I
Mhm.
think that's why they take a step back. But they do have Aaron Rodgers, and I kind of think as well, and I think this is why I might be a little bit higher on Green Bay than you are.
Mhm.
Um, I think this might be one of those years where it's kind of like a free agency year, and I'm putting up air quotes because for Aaron Rodgers, because
Mhm.
I think there's a huge possibility that Aaron Rodgers after this year is saying, I'm out. I
Mhm.
am pulling the Brett Favre, and you guys want me to mold this kid that you drafted. Guess what? It's not happening, and
Mhm.
I'm going to leave before he gets a chance to really see what I can do.
Mhm.
I think that's a very possibility because Brett Favre was a jerk when it came to them drafting Aaron Rodgers, but I think Aaron Rodgers' personality is way more jerky than what Brett Favre was. And I think he can hold a grudge more than Favre.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it's funny now because they're like really good friends.
Yeah.
Like it's like um, a similar career for both of them. Like they
Mhm.
both won one Super Bowl and arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks we've seen in the game. And
You're right.
both played for the same team, and their team drafted a quarterback when they were still kind of in a prime. And
Mhm.
so
Yep.
it's just like it's eerily similar. But I think what Rodgers has that Favre didn't was Rodgers saw it happen. And
Uh-huh.
so I really feel like Rodgers is going to say, well, I learned under Brett Favre because of Brett Favre, he didn't leave.
Yeah.
And so I sat there for 3 straight years. I'd rather leave and not let this kid get a chance and make the Green Bay fans wish that they kept Aaron Rodgers and wish they didn't draft this kid.
Mhm.
I feel really bad for Jordan Love if that does happen
Yeah.
because it's good.
Mhm.
Um, but he is going to need those 3 years like Aaron Rodgers had. And I really do. I really think this is Aaron Rodgers. I have no inside source. He's not said one thing about it,
Mhm.
but I just have a really strong feeling that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Packer next year.
I think I give that 2 more seasons before he's either traded or holds out or something. And I would not be surprised if he goes back to a California team,
Yeah.
or if the Las Vegas
Don't say
Raiders
Vegas.
make
Don't say
make a
Vegas.
make the biggest
Don't
push for
say
him in the
Vegas.
history. I just said Vegas.